packaged on a digital platform so that you can learn on your own at any given time, wherever you are. Even if you are traveling, you can still carry your laptop with you and you can learn. You can replay back the recording that was done on that particular lecture. Even using flash disks, you can always refer to them at any given time, at your own time, in your own environment. Number 2, terms used in online learning. We have terms that are normally used in online learning. Some of you might have interacted with them, but today we were actually on it directly. So we have a term like online learning, which refers to learning that takes place partially or entirely through internet. It also encompasses a range of technologies such as the World Wide Web, the email, the audio, the video conferencing, which of course delivered through the computer network and to impart education to the learners. So online learning is the one which of course right now we have adopted. That means that once the lectures have been put in audio and the video, you can be able to use it anytime, anywhere, wherever you are. And that's why I was trying to say, you will find sometimes it very interesting than even face-to-face lecture, whereby the lecturer may come in class, lecture, and after his lecture, sometimes there are no notes. But this one, you realize that the lectures are recorded, they are available through video, audio, and you can always replay them back at your own time and go through. The second one is blended learning. This combines both traditional face-to-face, and when we have online learning and blended learning, it means that the lectures are delivered both online, and at some point, there is an interaction between the teacher and also the students or the learners. Like, for example, right now, we are online and we are interacting, and you can ask questions and I respond to them directly. And there is that one that you can have the videos and the recorded videos and whatever that you can use and learn at your own time in your own environment. So blended is whereby there is face-to-face instructions as directed by the lecturer, which is computer-based. And then there is that one that actually you are on your own and you are doing it on your own. So in some cases we are blended, whereby there is face-to-face interaction between the teacher and the learners, and that one that you are alone, that the teacher is at a distance and not together. Then we have mobile learning. Mobile learning is normally delivered using devices like the mobile, like tablets, like the smartphones. Most of you these days have got smartphones. Smartphones, some of them are even more powerful than even laptop in terms of what they can access than laptops. In this case, one obtains learning materials through mobile apps, and then social interactions, online education hubs, particularly those ones which of course have been provided by the university, are very, very critical. And you are expected as an online learner to navigate and probably try to understand quite a number of things, going through the web, trying to check, downloading materials that are relevant to your course, and so on and so forth. Like University of Nairobi, as you know, has got so many materials online in the depository, at the same as the digital network, where you can be able to download even the journals that are related to your area of study. And then you can be able to save them in your laptop or in your mobile, and then you can retrieve them later on and go on with the learning at your own environment where you are alone. So online learning is also very interesting. And aside, forms of online learning, we have two forms of online learning. That's the real-time and off-time. Real-time learning, online learning, is web-based, from where teacher and learning takes place at the same time. That is real time. Like right now, we can talk about it is real time because now you are there and we can be able to interact. And after maybe this session, you can be able to ask questions and then respond and we communicate. So real time online learning is web-based and is a kind of a form of teaching and learning where it takes place at the same time. That is interaction between the learner and the teacher is live. Like right now, it is live. Students can ask questions, can provide comments through a chat window. And in other words, we are saying that participants can communicate at the same time from different locations using the communication tools that have been provided by the institution. In this case, I mean University of Nairobi. The often online learning describes forms of educational instruction and also learning which do not occur at the same time. So the learner in this case access the learning materials anytime at his own time or her own time. And that's where I was trying to say that you can use even the videos, you can use even the flash disks, you can use even the e-class to access, the materials. And then as you retrieve them, you learn at your own time. That is off-time learning. Examples of real-time learning, online learning includes tools like video conferencing, where we have the Google Meet, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, teleconferencing, live discussion forums, and you can also use telephone calls and chats. And then off-time learning management, you use learning management system, the LMS, where you can go to e-class or Soma and get whatever you want, or Google Classroom. Like you can use also flash disks and also video clips, which of course have been recorded. And you can be able to go through them at your own time. That's off time. And that's the one that I was trying to say. Even if you're traveling to UK, you can move with them and you will be in class. And you can do those things without any problem. But the most important thing is that when you are on off time online learning, you need to get a proper environment where there are no interference and distractions that will be able to interfere with you. Even if you are at home, when you're doing off time, you must make sure that you are at a very comfortable environment. So I want to stop there. And I think Dr. Moses Otieno will pick it from there to the end. Thank you very much, Dr. Moses. You can pick from the four.
Thank you, Professor Rambo. I think that's been a good presentation. I don't know whether I'm being heard. Can somebody confirm that I'm being heard?
Yeah, we are hearing you. I don't know whether the students are hearing.
No, you're loud and clear. We can hear you.
Yes.
Okay. And now I want to come in.
Can I put this one down?
Maybe you can even run it for me so that I'll be reading.
Okay.
Unless you are okay. So this is we are beginning from the fourth question, which most learners ask those of us who are on what we call this online learning method. Remember, Professor said that there are two methods. There is what we call the traditional one, where the teacher comes to class every morning or every afternoon, prepared with either the slides or the notes or whatever, and then he gives a lecture, and then he asks the question. Then there's this one which has come in now in a big way, what we are calling the online. And even online can be of two types. There's what we call read and all that. So we want now to begin by looking at the next question. That go back, Professor, to the previous slide here. The question on this one is where online learning takes place. We want to look at where does it take place, because we know the other one takes place in a classroom, in the four walls of a classroom, which is the most popular in all of the learning institution. So now let's move on to the next slide. Thank you, Prof. In a physical institutional structure such as classrooms, lecture theaters, and labs, that is where what the normal learning takes place. the physical one. But now this other one we are introducing today, or we have been introducing from last week, takes place on what we call in an online personal learning environment called BLES, in which the teacher and the learner are separated by space. On this method, the learner and the teacher are not together. You are not together with your lecturer, you are in your own environment. Like now, as we are training you on this, we are not together. We can't see each one face to face. You are wherever you are, doing whatever you are doing. I know some could be seated in their offices, others could be sitting in their houses, others could be in their business environment, others still could be somewhere doing something. But due to this, what we call the advantage of technology, we are now in contact and we are learning. So this is what we are calling the modern way of learning, of disseminating information. As Professor said, you can do it from wherever you are. Distances in the space and distance is not a problem. You could be maybe even in the UK, you could be in USA, you could be wherever you are, but learning takes place. Here we are saying again, in an online environment, learning is self-directed. The learner takes control of the learning. So in this one, the learner determines how learning takes place. Remember, the other one, the teacher determines. Here, you can determine if you wanted to sit in a conducive place, you take notes, you do whatever you are doing, you will do that. If you want to be in a noise place, you mute everything, and it is a learner self-directed learning place. Next slide, Professor. We go to question number 5. Question number 5: how to make learning, online learning enjoyable and successful. I sometimes know we sometimes have challenges with this online. Yesterday, we were doing them students, undergraduate students, and I saw some students were very naughty because they were making some fun comments on the side chat. Others were doing some fun things on the screen. It is because they were not enjoying, simply because it is something that they are not used to it. So this is a new phenomenon. How do we make it enjoyable and successful? Next slide, Bro. Some of the ways to make online learning enjoyable are: number 1, persistence. I know you know the meaning of the word persistence, and this is perhaps the biggest key success in online learning. Persistence is where you are supposed to do it continuously. You don't give up, even when you have challenges with your network, even when you have challenges with maybe your gadget, the one you are using, even when you have challenges with the environment, maybe you're in the environment where there's no proper learning taking place. You need to be persistent. Work on this thing daily. When there are classes, try to attend, and also try to avoid all the challenges that you may be undergoing when the learning takes place. This one becomes one of the major success factors, because if you have persistence in the online learning process, perhaps it will become successful. Remember, from the starting point, they are what we call the teething challenges. So the challenges which come along with with technology. Maybe you don't have a very good device to use. Maybe you don't have enough what we call a stable network. Like maybe you are using telecom where there's no proper coverage. Maybe you are using Safaricom, it is expensive to buy the bundles. Others yesterday were complaining of this particular system of learning consuming a lot of bundles. They say it in a nyonya kunyonya, meaning that they are experiencing a lot of challenges in learning, and this is what we are saying. You need to be persistent, because persistence sometimes pays. Number 2 is effective time management. Time management requires that you do things in a proper way. You do proper planning so that you know what to do at what time, and then you also have a scheme of things on how to do those things you want to do. So even on this online learning, we need to have what we call effective time management skills, so that we are able to overcome the challenges of wasting time. Sometimes we waste time not because we want to, but because of the circumstances. So what we are saying here is that prepare in advance for your classes. If you know the classes are taking place at 9:30, prepare in advance, set a place where the learning will take place, put your gadgets in place, and ensure that you have a list of the things to do. Make a daily to-do list, so that you know that the time you have set your time for maybe things like running, because without that, then it will be very difficult for you to do the running. So here we are saying, as a good learner, always have a list, and that list you stick to it so that you can have a lot of good things taking place. Next line. Number 3 is effective and appropriate communication skills. Communication is more about disseminating information. But for this one on online, the most important thing is you are able to disseminate information online, and therefore you need to have the best, the best communication gadgets. You need to have a smart mobile phone, or you have a laptop, and then you have a very stable network, and then you are there listening to whatever the teacher or the tutor is communicating. So listening, what we call effective appropriate communication skills requires that you have effective listening skills, because without listening, then you cannot be an effective communicator. So in this one, we want to analyze, we want to emphasize the importance of being a very good, like in terms of the gadgets. You need to know when to mute the mic, when to unmute the mic, when to mute the video, when to unmute the video, the camera, and all that, so that you are able to pass your information. How to type, like the side chat is very important that you know how to type there so that you can discuss and also engage with the lecturers and the teachers and the other teachers when they are teaching. Number 4 is basic technical skills. Basic technical skills are very critical. You need to have the skills to know how to use your gadgets. You need to know how to save your documents on the laptop. You need to know how to retrieve your documents from the various programs. You need to know how to navigate in the internet. You need to know how to download documents. You need to know how to present documents, because sometimes you will be required to present documents. The technical skills on IT, very important. And this requires that you need to undertake a lot of training, basic training, so that you are able to know how to make use of this technology, especially to use the soft skills that are required in this. Remember, even during exams, you will take exams using the system, the technology online, and therefore you want to know how to do the exams online through the open book system or whatever, so that you are able to type properly, you know how to save, you know how to upload, you know how to do that. Because I've seen like the exams we had previously, most students were able to do the exams properly, but they were not able to upload the exams because they didn't know how to do it. Some of them had to miss the exams simply because they didn't know how to even open the e-class of the e-class in the university intranet, and then all that led to them not that they wanted to prepare for the exams. They were prepared, but because of lack of the technical skills, they were not able to do exams. Number 5 is reading and writing skills. I know at this generation and era, we don't know how to read and how to write. But now here for us, what we are saying, you need to know how to do things online, like how to do online classes, how to, which you already have said, how to do the typing on class, how to read the documents. Like if you want to read a document, like you want to read the notes, where do you get the notes from? So for you to know to read, to get the notes and the notes and read them, you need to know how to go up to e-class, and then you need to know how to log in, and then you need to know how to get the documents that you need, a specific document you need, and then how to put it on the screen. Then you read, and then thereafter. So all of this you need to practice these things so that you become a good, or you become a major participant in this online learning. Next one, Professor. Number 6 is what we call motivation and independence. And motivation and independence here is where you are required as a student to be motivated, to be excited, to be very happy, so that you are able to do things independently. Sometimes we know we have people who are young who depend among their parents, but in most cases on this one, we need that our runners should be independent online, so that you are not going to be monitored with what you are doing on your screen or what you are doing on your mobile phone. Do the learning if it is the learning. Avoid other things like chatting maybe with other people while you are in class. That will not be good. So internal communication requires that as a person, you are able to control yourself and do things that are required. But also we are saying there should be some level of maturity among the learners. Sometimes you have learners who take things out of context. Maybe you have a tutor or a lecturer who may be having problems with pronouncing some names. because we have what we call the interference of the mother tongue in pronunciation of names. And sometimes don't take them to a level where sometimes you want to ridicule your teacher or whatever. That becomes irresponsible. It becomes immature. What you take is the most important thing about learning, so that you're able to acquire knowledge. Number 7 is you have to have a good study environment. And a good study environment has the following things. Number 1, number 1 is get some peaceful and quiet place where you want to study, space. When we talk of peaceful and quiet space is before you go to class, ensure that where you are is peaceful and is quiet, so that you will not be interfering. Like, assume you are maybe in an open place, maybe you are in an office, you are in a matatu and you want to run. Sometimes it becomes difficult because it's not peaceful and it's not quiet. Maybe you may be required by the teacher to make a statement. He may even pinpoint you that so and so make a statement. You cannot make a statement because the environment where you are is distracting, and then there's a lot of things that are happening. Even in your own house, avoid sitting in a place where there's a TV, where there are other family members, where there are other people, because sometimes these people can interfere with the learning, and that becomes a problem. Number 2 is avoid computer games while you are in class. Please do not engage on other games in the computer or even in the phone, because that again will make you to be tempted not to keep track on what's going on, and that concentration goes down. Number 3, turn off your cell phone so that you don't get what we call incoming calls or texts. Remember, while the classes are going on, texts are quite some time. Like we started from 9:15. It is now 9:30. Now it is now 10:15. Meaning we have covered like more than 1 hour. This time, maybe a lot of friends and family members could have called. If your phone is on, then you will be getting distracted because there will be incoming calls, there will be incoming texts. Some of them will be very urgent, you want to reply, some of them you want to receive the phone call. In the process, you have missed a point that was being delivered by the tutor or by the lecturer. So turn off your phone so that you only remain with what we call the internet, so that you are able to go on. Next one, avoid surfing the internet while in class. And this is very important for the learners. I do not know for what reason that you want to serve 2 masters. You are in class while you are serving in a computer, you are in internet, maybe you are in YouTube, you are watching some funny clips, and the teacher is going on teaching. It sometimes cannot be, you cannot concentrate fully in the class. So while you are in class, this is a major requirement. This is a major environmental requirement that you do not, and you don't attempt to be in another world, in another website, mean another internet, or you are doing some other things while you're in class. It is not good. Remember, here at the class, we are using the word class to mean where you are. It could be in your house, it could be wherever, but you are in class because you are in an online class that is taking place like any other. Next one is comfortable sitting. This is very important also, because if you sit for long hours and you are not comfortable, then the concentration may not be there. So what we are saying here, adjust the height of your chair, your keyboard, and even your screen so that you are comfortable. Forearms and thighs should be the level and parallel to the floor. Sit properly and sit in a way that there would be adequate supply, what we call blood supply in the body, so that you will not be tired because of maybe sitting in an inappropriate manner. Lastly, set up good lighting system so that the room where you are is not to be, there should not be too much light or very little light, because that again can cause problems. Have what we call the normal light, so that your eyes, when you are reading the computer, they will not strain, and in the process, they will not give you challenges. Next one is the professor. Number 8, participate. When you are in class, please ensure that you participate, because that also makes you to be more attentive. So we are saying here, in the online environment, it is not enough to show up. We need to hear your voice, to feel your presence, and we especially need your comments added to the information. They share the information and the sense of community in each class, so that when you are in class, please don't just be a mute spectator. Sometimes make comments, sometimes ask, but here what we are saying, not just make a comment for the sake of it. Don't even ask for the sake of it, but if you are very much attentive and very active in the class, you're going to meet something to comment about the lesson. You're going to meet something to ask about the lesson. Actually, we normally say attentive people are the one who participates in class in terms of comments or in terms of question. When you see somebody is not asking or not commenting, then you should be worried because that person either he has not been following or he's not in the class. Maybe there are those who just open the word, they join the class. You will see them in the word in the participants, but they are not there. And that's such a situation can be attained if you make them to, maybe you ask a question and want them to answer. So here we are saying be able to work with others in completing projects, be ready to use the technology properly, be able to meet the minimum standards set for by the institution, be able to complete assignments on time, enjoy communicating in writing. These are very important aspects of participation, and this is what we are asking you to do if you want to be a good learner. Number 9, make sure that you have reliable internet access. This I cannot overemphasize over the same. This is a very critical aspect. Like I know sometimes you keep on joining in and going out because you have a very weak internet coverage. Either you are using an unreliable or you are using a very weak source of internet. Please ensure that before you begin class, your source of internet is very stable. If you are using your own bundles, make sure that you have adequate bundles. If you are using, let's say like you are using the various internet source, like maybe the Safaricom, whatever, ensure that you have it is very stable so that it will not frustrate you. Next one, Prof. Next slide.
Yes.
I think now this last one, what do we call NETIQUETTES in NETIQUETTES in online learning. When you talk about etiquette, you are talking what we call the acceptable things, the good behaviors that are required. Like social life, where we have what we call what we have etiquette. Also here we have what we call netiquette. Netiquette here, these are the things that are required to do properly if you want to be a very good what we call online student. Remember, netiquettes are those things which regulate and control your behaviors while you are an online student. So we are saying here, remember, university lecturer students are willing to help students, but they are unable to pick up on nonverbal cues because we are not together. We cannot see the way you are seated. We can't see the way you are behaving because we aren't together. There is what we call limited space. You are far away from where we are, and therefore we cannot look at the way you behave and then we control it. Such as a look of confusion or a student face. And therefore, number 1, as a student, you are required to control your own behavior or to control yourself so that you are able to enjoy learning. How do you control yourself? These are the things you do. Number 1, use the tools selected by the university to communicate with your tutors. This could be through emails, messaging, or chats. Use these ones because these are the ones the university has selected. Avoid coming up with your own ways of communicating. Because when you start coming up with your own, you will be causing confusion. These ones are the ones which are the most accepted. Like email, you have university email, I have university email. You want to communicate with me using my university email so that we can keep it, we can communicate on issue matters. Messages can be through WhatsApp, can be through the text, the short message text and all that, or just could be through this one. This is very important because if you don't do that, then it will lead to chaos in the whole learning process. Number 2, find out if your tutor has chat room or cell phone office hours. Remember, we can, as lecturers or tutors, we can set the official time to chat with the students. If you go to e-class, you could find the teachers fixed. Sometimes maybe I said, I will be available between noon and 1 for answering questions that you may be having. It is important that you keep on checking, so that that time when the tutor has slotted maybe for questions and answers, it is when you can engage him. Sometimes you want to engage the teacher anytime, maybe he's busy elsewhere, he has another class, or he's doing something else and you want him to answer your question, and then he does not answer, and then you feel bad that it's not taking you serious. It is because you didn't choose the time properly. So here, inquire from your tutors or from your lecturers the appropriate time that you can maybe make a phone call, the appropriate time that you can engage him on a WhatsApp chat, the appropriate time you can engage him on a WhatsApp or those, so that you are able to meet him and you discuss the issues that you may be having. Number 3, use appropriate style and language. I know sometimes we have this shame language that we use as young people. If you know at the masters, you may not be all that young, but most of you are also young. Ensure that the language you use is the appropriate language. Avoid using those funny words and all that, which are not appropriate in all that. When communicating with your tutors and other staff, you should write in full, grammatically correct sentences, and with a respective tone. Kindly underline this one and use it as you are getting engaged. Please, when you talk to your lecturers, you talk to your tutors, you talk to university staff, avoid writing things in short. Like I saw in exam, there's an exam I was marking online, and I saw a student who was using a lot of saying language, writing some words in some funny way, a short form, and also some concorded words, and I was not amused. It's not proper. If you are doing an exam, you are doing university, what we call academic work, do it using the acceptable form of grammar and language. Write things the way they are supposed to be written. Use a respectful tone. When you talk to your tutor, either you are writing or you are making a phone call, talk to him or communicate with him in a very respectful manner. That is an etiquette which is very critical, because sometimes we may think that we are all the same equal with our tutors, and therefore we start using an unacceptable language to addressing them. This, I think, is not proper. Number 4, treat your tutors with respect. Number 4, I'm finishing. Treat your tutors with respect and courtesy. Courtesy demands that you address them properly and you talk to them nicely. Nicely does not mean that you're compromising them, but you respect them because they are people who are elderly, people who have achieved more than you. Because of the distance, it is tempting some students to say things out of anger or frustration that they will never say to a tutor in person. Online tutors are professionals, and therefore let them behave, let them be treated as professionals. Next one, Malim. Prof. Number 5, ensure you are properly dressed when attending class. This prepares your mind for the learning process. Very critical. I know sometimes there's a time we were having some online devices, and I was disappointed because a student, MA student, who was presenting a thesis was in bed, wearing pajamas and trying to present, and that we refused. Even if we are not together, please ensure that you dress properly in an official manner. Sometimes you can even be in official dress, even a necktie and all that, so that you are able to be presentable. Because this is a normal class, the only thing which is there is that it's not taking place in a formal environment. This prepares your mind for the learning process. When you are dressed properly, you are not in bed, you are not in your pajamas, you are not maybe in your funny clothes. When you are in your official clothes, you take your learning very serious. Number 6, avoid eating and drinking in class. This is not only destructive to you, but it's also destructive to the others, to the tutor and others. Imagine you are maybe taking tea or you are taking some other things in class, and maybe your video is on, meaning your camera is on, or you sometimes there's some funny noise you make while you are eating. It becomes very destructive. Avoid that. Don't talk while you have a lot of food in the mouth, and then or you are chewing food and then you are talking is not proper. Let the eating and all the drinking take place before or after class. During class, avoid it capsa. Number 7, it's a good practice to mute your microphone. This we cannot overemphasize the same. Kindly mute both your microphone and even your camera, because sometimes camera consumes a lot of bandwidth, and also sometimes it can be destructive. Like now, I'm teaching, even your cameras could be on, I could be seeing some of you maybe doing some things, maybe you are working, maybe you are doing this, then that becomes destructive. Number 2, when the camera is on, or if our cameras are on, there will be some echo being experienced in the room. So kindly mute both your microphone and also your camera. Unless you have been asked to talk is when you are mute, but if not, then do not. Number 8, think before you push the send button. When you are using these gadgets, sometimes we type a lot of things. Kindly, if you have typed something you want to send it, read it, go back, read it and look at it, and make sure that it is appropriate what you are sending. Words sometimes can hurt. Words can make some people feel bad. So if you, before you send any message out to your tutor, to your lecturer, to your fellow students, look at it, and then you will, if it's not appropriate, please don't send it, you put it down, or if it's not appropriate, you change the language and the tone, and make it acceptable. Did you use, I think that's okay. Number 6, be patient. That's number 9, be patient. Here, patience means take your time. Some classes may take a lot of time. Be patient with your teacher. Sometimes you may ask question and then you want the answers immediately. Be patient with your teacher. Maybe he may be preparing to ask the question next time. There are things that you cannot get immediately. You cannot get immediately. You want them. Be patient because the other person needs time to prepare and give the same. Sometimes you may want to be given notes and you want them to come immediately. Be patient. Sometimes you have been taught a lesson in class. You should not expect to understand the lesson immediately. It's not like the materials are being supplied and they will just sink into your mind. Be patient, go back, look at the notes you have been given, the materials you have given, and then maybe do more research. You will understand better than you may want to understand immediately. So here we are saying, be patient all around, all aspects, because patience, they say, patience pays. It pays only when you are patient, you also doing a lot of research on it. Number 10, ensure you are ethical as you deal with other students. Ethical in your behavior, ethical in your words, ethical in your presentation and all that, so that you would command respect from your other students. People who are not ethical, they never command respect. People will not respect you if you are not ethical. Number 11, be ethical when working on your assignments. Avoid plagiarism. Don't plagiarize other people's work. Avoid cheating and other forms of what and other violations of ethical behavior. As students, please, if you have referred to somebody's work, acknowledge that the person as the true source of the information that you are using. Don't make it appear that it is your own information. When you are doing assignments, you are doing exams, you are doing research projects, you are doing whatever you are doing, and so that you do we call your work, your own work. Don't plagiarize, because when you plagiarize, it becomes criminal. You know, it's a criminal offense. You can even be taken to court and you are jailed because you have plagiarized somebody's work. You remember some time back, there's somebody who plagiarized the former First Lady of America, that is Miss Obama, and everybody was on her. She said, "You are unethical. How can you plagiarize somebody's work and you make it appear as if it is yours?" So plagiarism is very bad. It is an offense that can put you in problems. And I want to emphasize here that be independent and do your own work. But if you are referring to somebody's work, please make sure you acknowledge that person as the true source of that particular information. Next one, bro. Take note. When you study away from campus, you are separated from the facilitator in both time and space. Important. When you start away from campus, you are not in the campus, you are not in our satellite campuses, you are not in class. Remember, you are separated from your facilitator in both time and space. You must therefore be in control of your own learning by creating a conducive learning environment, which we have been saying repeatedly. So you are your own control. If you want to make it enjoyable, you will make it enjoyable. If you want to make it disappointing, you can make it disappointing. Can we go to the last one now, Prof? Summary. In summary, therefore, we are saying this session has taken you through the various issues. Number one, the differences between learning online and the tradition of face-to-face learning. This was done by Prof, and they well done. Number two, terms used in online learning, which we have done. Number three, forms of online learning. Number four, where online learning takes place, that I've done. Lastly, we have discussed ways in which we can ensure that online learning is enjoyable and successful. Thank you. That marks the end. May God bless you. And now back to our prof. Prof, please take up.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Moses Otieno, for that good presentation and also very clear indeed to be able to hear every word. And therefore, I think at this particular session, now we shall be able to interact with the students so that they can be able to ask questions.
So thank you very much, Professor Rambo and Dr. Otieno, for the very good training. Student, that training, it applies not only in the virtual circles, but really it's a life skill. So very important. And what I have to highlight is that we've been streaming these videos live on YouTube. And even after the class, these videos are there on that YouTube link. So just make sure that you get to that link. I've copied it on chat. You can subscribe so that you get other training notifications on other helpful trainings like this one. Then I appreciate you. Thank you very much for participating in the poll. I take note that each and every student have participated in the poll. Later in the day, I'll be posting on the mail list a survey on the training, not only this training, but all the trainings we have had from Monday onwards, including the availability of the videos on the YouTube link. So kindly, each one of you, ensure that you participate in the survey, ensure that you fill the survey to the end. So as Professor Rabo has said, you can engage us. And because really I have postgraduate students, I'll allow all of you to unmute yourself, but please raise up your hand so that we pick one-on-one. We are in a position to answer all your questions. So there is a facility where you can raise your hand. Kindly raise your hand. And once your question has been attended, lower your hand so that it's easy for the questions coordinator to proceed. So you're welcome, and we are able to take your questions. Yes, we have Omondi Ochieng.
Oh, yeah. Hello.
Yes, once you're given the opportunity, just proceed. We can hear you. If we can't hear you, we'll tell you.
Okay, mine is a general question. If currently we are in the COVID-19 era, that's why we have the online classes. So if in case the government advises on the contrary, maybe from next year, what about those who will be much comfortable with the online classes, especially for the ones that do not require laboratory facilities?
That is taken. We can also have the question from did I see Ogendi? Yes, Ogendi. Ask your question so that you can be able to handle several questions at a time. Any other person with question, raise your hand.
Okay, thank you so much for what you're doing as a whole, the University of Nairobi. Mine is just a general question that having taken through the trainings, I believe at this moment we're ready to start the classes, but perhaps personally, I'm facing a challenge of registering the courses, and that today being the last working day for this week, and we're expected to start our classes on Monday. kindly, what will be the challenge? What will happen if the classes start and perhaps have not registered for the courses? Because since the system was open, I've only been seeing the courses for the academic year 2019 and 2020. I've tried to consult with the department, but however, some issues have been resolved, but this one is still is an issue that is pending. Please help. Thank you so much.
So thank you very much. Oluch, Oluch.
Mine is just similar what my colleague has said. We are not able to register on the courses, especially the unit. The portal is saying it is closed. We have written mails to our department, no response, and yet the classes is starting on Monday. So I don't know how to go about that.
Okay, that is noted. Professor Rambo, the question on COVID-19 era, and in the event that we get back to the physical training, will we have blended trainings? Will we have trainings that are 100% virtual and others 100% physical and others blended? Kindly comment on that, Professor Rambo.
Okay, Patricia, for that question, I would like to tell the student that one, the university will advise appropriately.
Yes, and to add on that, we've
Yes.
been having blended training even before the COVID era. I know several departments that were using the Google Classroom. And for the SOMAs, most of you have taken part in SOMAs. We've been having SOMAs, the platform. It's been in the university since 2018. And we've been training online. Students were being assessed online for their CATs. So we've only enhanced it for the examination. The e-class portal, where the tutors for the day, they come from Odell campus, open and distance learning. They have been doing distance learning, basically the virtual learning, for quite long, and the Professor Rabo will confirm.
From 2015.
Yes, and so we've been having blended learning. Some students learning virtually, and we combine that with the physical learning, especially when they come to do their exams. But for CATs, they are administered online. So it's not anything new to us. We've only enhanced the system for 100% virtual learning. So it's a possibility, of course, that's a Senate decision, whether we can have some classes completely virtual, others blended, and others physical learning. But then that's a good sentiment, and going forward, it's a good suggestion.
Yeah, they will be advised accordingly. They will be advised accordingly, because even before, as you have said, we were having masters, particularly masters in project planning, which was the first one online. And time comes when they are in a position to attend class face to face. They used to come to that class and attend. They cannot be stopped. But now, when it came to examination, we did not have a platform where the student can do exams online. But remember, right now, we have done that. All our students in the last semester did exams online. So we have come out and improved the system of the delivery in the university. So a student from either Nigeria may not necessarily come to do exam in Kenya. So we do these things, and you will be advised accordingly by the faculty. Thank you.
Yes, on the question of course registration, I want to pick now the information from the students. On chat, can you write for me your school, if you're getting that your portal is closed for online for registration, for course registration. Just that the portal is closed for course registration. Write for me on chat. I'll liaise with the department. It will be opened by the end of the day. Then there is something else that I think it's Ogendi who said that he's not, I don't know whether he's not able to choose the courses or courses are not there for choice. And I think that is something specific to an individual. And just write to me at pigitonga@unbi.ac.ke, and I'll be able to take it up individually from that. But for the course registration for any department showing that it's closed, then that is something which is affecting all of us, and we should be able to sort it. So thank you very much. I really don't see another hand. I think the students are comfortable. If you, Christopher Maebo, kindly.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for the training. My concern is pursuing Masters of Science in Chemistry. So I'm supposed to register for 5 courses, but I've not paid the fees for the whole semester for school fees. I've paid 50. So can I register for all 5 courses? Is it possible for me to register for all 5 courses?
Christopher, we don't hear you properly. You are breaking.
Hello?
Christopher, you are breaking.
Hello?
Can you come again?
I'm saying, yeah?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Are you getting me? Yes?
Yeah, we are getting you now.
My school fees is this 78. Yes, I want to do 8 units, but I've not paid the whole school fees. I've paid 56,000. I want to clear the fees within this month. Can I register for the 5 courses, or I will register for the courses that I've paid as of now?
That one I can reply very fast. You register for the courses you are paid, and supposing you get money and then there is an opportunity to register for the others, you will be allowed and advised by the faculty. Sawa. Because the system will not allow you to register for the courses you have not paid for. The system is configured in such a way that you can only register for the units for the courses you have paid, the units you have paid for. So you can register for the units that you have paid money for, then you look for those other monies. If at all you get the money in good time, then you will be allowed to register for the courses that remained. But otherwise, the system cannot allow you to register for the courses you have not paid for. If you don't allow for the courses you have paid for. That is how it is configured. I think that's... Christopher, did you hear me?
Yes, that is very clear. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So any other students with a question, you can just unmute and ask the question.
Charlton.
Yes, hello, good morning, madam.
Morning. Morning. Geoffrey, can you talk? Ombui?
Yes, hello. Can we access the internet bundles for these virtual classes?
Can we? Yes, I got the question, Professor Rambo.
Okay.
For the internet bundle, please mute. For the internet bundles, you go to your student portal. You'll get a link which is my profile. Then from there, you can fill the details to get the bundles. You can fill, and the details is your current phone number, whether you have a telecom line. Note that the university is giving you telecom bundles. It gives you 15 GB for each and every month. That is renewable each and every start of the month. You're also supposed to fill your telecom center, which is closest to you. If it's Kakamega, if it's Kisumu, the card is delivered there. But what I advise is that you can buy your card from the nearest telecom shop. Then you can enter that number so that you don't have delays in delivery of the card, even if it means just a day or two, that we'll just get your line and upload the bundles. Students will start receiving bundles from today. That is depending on when they registered. So the first batch is coming out today. So ensure that you update the portal for bundle registration. I hope you've all done that. When I'm still here, I need to emphasize 2 points: that it is very, very important that you create an AD account, an Active Directory account. On the same YouTube channel, there is a video on how to create the AD account, and you also create a university email account. We have been reaching you using your personal emails that you used for COOPs, and also you used during your online application to join the college. Going forward, you'll only be identified as a University of Nairobi student from anyone else in the internet, from the billions of people we have on the internet, through either your AD account or student email. It is very important that you create them. That on eClass, you can only use AD account. That on other online university platforms, you can only use the email account, that is the Google Suite account, to get in. So kindly, going forward, when classes are called on Zoom, when classes are called on Teams, you'll be required to use your AD account to access those classes. And you'll only get the invitation from your university email. It's the major point of communication, university email. So please create the account. I checked yesterday, postgraduate, we only have like 10% of all of you who've created the university email. I note there are people who have communicated to me that they have problems with getting admission letters, and I've been asking specifically, just write to me, pigitonga@unbi.ac.ke, and please give me all the details, the course you're taking, your name, if you have a reference number, and the exact problem, so that we can know where to channel your request to, specifically for fast resolution. So we'll still take a question if there is any. If there is none, then we can close. So we are still open for a question. Thank you.
Thank you, Patricia. So for that clarification, good ones. Can we get any question? If there isn't, then we close. Any question? So maybe Patricia, we can go back to Dr. Tieno. If it's there, he make his remarks, then we close down. I make mine, we close down. Dr. Tieno.
Thank you, Prof. Yes, Prof. I want to make my final remarks.
Yes, please.
I want to thank the participants for turning up in large numbers and participating till the end. I want to echo the same sentiments the professor said. For purposes of running, pay your fee on time and register your courses on time, because the system does not allow one to take exams without paying the fee. These basic rules are there to govern and make the running smooth and comfortable. And as we are now moving towards the era of online learning, I wish we will do things in a more organized manner. Make sure that you are, when you get your Airtel bundles from the university, use them wisely, because they are only replenished at the end of the beginning of the month. If, for example, you have received your share in the first day of the month, don't expect to get another one until another, meaning at the first of the other month. So be careful how you use your bundles. Use them for academic purpose only, and research well, because at postgraduate, it's supposed to be more on research, not on what we call theoretical running. So do a lot of research on topics given, so that you can also contribute to this world by contributing some knowledge, which the people will be happy about. Thank you. God bless you. It has been a good experience. Bye-bye. See you next time.
Well articulated.
Back to you, Prof.
Thank you, Dr. Moses. Thank you, Moses. I would also want to echo the same thing Dr. Tinas just said. Make sure that you register the way Patricia said, and create all those emails, and so that you can be able to be communicated to. And at the same time, make sure that you fill your form and get the bundles in good time, so that you are not locked out of class, or you are unable to access the class, so that you move with your colleagues at back. Please make sure that you are there to that, and you are postgraduate, you are not undergraduate. You are now more in a position to understand these things more than the undergraduates. Therefore, we want to appreciate your participation, and we welcome you. We are going to interact quite often, as you are still in the university and so on. So I just want to appreciate you, and thank you very much for taking your time to attend this, and for choosing our university to come and learn with us. Thank you. Patricia?
Yes, so thank you very much. Today marks the end of this week's training, where it was a drive on virtual learning. But it's not the end of the training. I'll be sending you much more. We'll be holding a class. I'll be holding a class with you at least each and every week, so that we can iron out the issues that have not been clear for you. My email is open, and my official email is ICT-support-CBPS. For issues that are to be handled by the school, please make sure that you use the faculty help desks, or the faculty have a help desk which we've communicated to you. And when you write to our help desk, kindly state your problems clearly, give us screenshots. State your problems clearly, give us the screenshots, include your registration number, so that there is no back and forth trying to get much more information from you. So in the course of the day, I'll be sending a survey. Please make sure you participate. Please make sure you fill the survey to the end. So I thank you very much, and thank you for attending the training. Have a good day.
Thank you very much, Patricia, and all the rest. Thank you. Good day.